electromagnetic radiation guard. All right, if you guys can see my slides, give me a thumbs up so I know you guys are following me. Yeah, if you can see my slides, give me a thank you so much. So emGuarde is 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸's latest product that they have entered in the product line. All right, so just to give you a little bit of history about who 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 is, 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 are actually the manufacturers of the amazing Kangen water. Yeah, any Kangen water drinkers in this Zoom call, type K in the chat for me, all right? Kangen water is the best drinking water on planet Earth. I will never ever trade my Kangen machines for anything else. It is the only water that I want to drink. So much so, even when I travel, I will always find the nearest 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 office to provide me water when I travel. And to be honest, I actually only travel to countries which has an office. Yeah, I tend to do that because I really need the water. Now, Kangen water machines have been going around the world for many, many years, over 30 years now, and they're actually the best medically grade ionized water machines that you can purchase for your house around the world, right? They're number one. Now, 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 is not a small company. It's a 51-year-old company, and next year is 52, guys. Wow, right? 52 years old company. And 𝐏𝐸𝐺𝐸 has recently launched a very groundbreaking, market crazy product called the emGuarde. Because why? Currently in our lives, our present lifestyles, guys, we are surrounded by something called electronic devices. Yeah, just to give you a hint of what electronic devices are, it is basically anything that requires some sort of electricity to operate. Meaning, if it's battery operated, it's plugged into a wall plug, guys, those are electronic products. Even your LED light bulbs, your fan, your air conditioners, guys, all these are considered electronic products. And believe it or not, all of these electronic products are actually polluting your environment with something called EMF radiation, electromagnetic radiation. All right, and today I'm going to share with you information about what EMF radiation is about, how is it impacting our lives, and how emGuarde is able to safeguard us and our loved ones from the harms of long-term exposure to EMF. Okay, let's get started. 30 years ago, I'm 31 this year, right? So I kind of grew up with how phones have kind of evolved. I've seen the first type of handphones that were available on the market, and I've seen how they became smartphones to today. Any of you remember Motorola, Nokia, Sony Ericsson's? All of those were phones in our past, right? And how did those phones basically moved forward to today, where we have Apple iPhones, we have, I don't know, Samsung Ultras and whatever have you, right? So currently our phones, compared to many years ago, are very complex and they're very, very powerful devices. Okay, not only our phones, even our lifestyles. Because strangely enough, you know, whenever I go to my local playground in my community, I remember as a kid, that was the place to be, you know, as a kid. And I remember making a lot of friends who are about my age, and I used to play a lot of football, climb trees, just do what boys do, yeah, in the playground. But today, I don't see children in the playgrounds anymore. I see parents and grandparents. Where are the children? Believe it or not, and I think you guys can probably see the trend, children rather spend time on their devices, their phones, their laptops, their computers, than be outdoors. And this is a growing problem. I remember as a kid, 5, 6, 7, 10 years old, yeah, when I first got my first computer, man, it was absolutely like groundbreaking, right, to have my first computer in the house. And even back then, I was addicted. And my parents knew that it would have become a really bad habit. My parents used to set boundaries, 2 hours a day for the computer, nothing more. If you cross, I'm turning off the computer straight away. Yeah, those rules were things that I grew up with. Today, those rules don't exist. Am I right, guys? Agree? If you guys agree, type 3 in the chat for me. Those rules don't exist anymore. There is literally no limitation as to parents putting on to their children as to how many hours they can spend on the devices on a daily basis. Now, is this a problem? I believe so. Yeah. The reason for that is because a lot of these devices are actually affecting our health. You see, there is a new type of pollution today. Yeah. Now, the type of pollutions that we're used to is like water, air, noise. Guys, if you see water pollution, air pollution, or noise pollution, do you go close to these pollution? Do you walk towards these pollutions? No, right? Because it is a pollution, we stay far from it. What if I told you today, with all the electronic devices in your house, there is actually something called the electromagnetic radiation pollution present? All your devices, your lights, your switches, your fan, your air conditioner, whatever, they're actually polluting your environment with a pollution. And the funny thing is that this pollution, we are more than happy to spend hours or every day in. You guys hear me? You guys feel me? The problem is with this pollution is that it doesn't affect our senses in any way. But we understand that it is there. We understand there is a negative impact to being exposed to these pollutions on a long-term basis. But why aren't we doing anything about it? Simple answer. Because it is too difficult to not have your phone around you. Am I right, guys? Let me repeat that. It is too difficult to not be on your phone. Who here cannot live without their phones for one full day? Type 2 in the chat for me. I'm going to type 2 in the chat because I can't. I can't live without my phone for a whole day, guys. Impossible. I need my phone. Why? Because your phone is literally your door to the world. It connects you to your loved ones. It connects you to your business. It creates opportunities for you. It tells you what's going on around the world. That is how powerful the phones are, and that's how reliant we are on it. Yeah, so I'm going to give you basically some information about what this electromagnetic radiation pollution is. All right. Now, there are many names that go by it. There's something called e-noise. There's something called electrosmog. A lot of these different names all relate to the same thing. Yeah. So if you go on Google and you type www.pubmed.com, now pubmed.com is one of the most reputable websites for medical related stuff. Yeah. Inside PubMed, you can actually search something called e-noise, electromagnetic radiation noise, right? And they say it is an increasingly relevant health risk. They defined e-noise as signal from electronic products and instruments that emit radiation and electromagnetic fields. Now, read the next line very carefully with me. Yeah? It includes not only the acoustic, but also non-acoustic noises. Guys, EMF radiation is not some sort of special force field. It's not some sort of special thing. It's not. It is actually just a noise. It is a frequency. And that frequency exists either audible, means we can hear, or non-audible, means we cannot hear those noises. And these noises, they carry radiation from your electronic products. Are you guys following me? If you're following me, type 1 in the chat so I know you guys understand what e-noise is. Because guys, many of us overthink about what electromagnetic radiation pollution is, but it's actually something so simple. It is a noise. Yeah? You know, do any of you have pets at home? You know, dogs, cats, or what have you? Interesting thing is that I basically grew up with a lot of dogs. I had a dog in my house for the longest of time. Every single time a dog would to, let's say, get old, pass away, my family would just get another dog. Yeah. You know what I notice about my dogs? They never, ever sit in front of the television. They try to sit very far away from the television. Now, I don't know if you guys you guys relate to this, yeah, but I've also asked some of my friends this who have pets, and all of them say the same thing. Their dogs, their pets do not sit close to electronic products. They sit somewhere very far away from everything, and that's usually in the center of the house, of the living room. Let's say if you have a living room, you have couches and everything, they tend to sit right smack in the middle of the room. Yeah. Why? Because dogs, pets, can sense these frequencies and they know it is not nice and they rather not be close to them. Yeah. Interesting fact. Yeah. This problem about electromagnetic radiation, let me show you how much awareness there is on this problem. A lot of radio stations, a lot of government agencies, a lot of non-profit organizations, they have been releasing a lot of studies about males who tend to put their phones in the front pockets. There have been many, many studies relating that having your phones in your front pockets can lead to lower sperm count, lower sperm vitality, and in many, many rare cases, even infertility. There's also a study in the US, in the West, right? There's this trend, a very weird trend. I don't understand why. Women, young girls, like to put their phones in their front bra, in their bralette. I don't know why. It was actually a trend. And the thing is, there was also a study saying that women who did that had higher chances of getting breast cancer. Yeah. You know how I know this? Because my cousin who is in the US, she does that. Until I told her, hey, stop. And then she started Googling, researching, and then she realized, oh my gosh, I've been damaging myself. So these studies are not new. Yeah. There's also been a lot of surveys done about EMF radiation. 2019, 6 years ago, there was a survey done about how EMF exposure could affect you on a chronic daily basis. Now, if you take a look, guys, 871 participants took part in this survey, and the number one ranking problem is sleep. Sleep problems, number two, fatigue, concentration, memory, or learning problems, stress and anxiety, headaches. I remember as a very young kid growing up, I never had any sleep problems. Like you put me to bed and I'll just knock out straight away. Yeah. But recently, right, haven't you guys been hearing this problem a lot? That people tend to not get good sleep on a regular basis. You guys hear this news before? Maybe your friends have come and complained to you, hey, I just can't get good sleep every single day. I've been working late hours of the night. I've been using my computer through the midnight oil. And a lot of them suffer from not getting good sleep. It has nothing to do with the blue light, guys. Sure, the blue light has some play in it, but actually it is because a lot of people now have their laptops, have their phones, have their computers inside their bedroom. Some people charge their phones next to their head on that bedside table while trying to sleep. Some people have air conditioners pointing straight at their bodies. So all of these electronic products in your surrounding are actually affecting your sleep. And this survey proves it. 71% says sleep problems. So if you want to go and take a look at this survey, the link is literally right there, right? emfsafetynetwork.com, .org. And a lot of these surveys are all online for you to take a view on, yeah? So devices in your house, again, guys, anything that requires battery or electric, right? So whether a wall plug or something will emit EMF radiation will add to that EMF pollution problem in your house. Yeah, your microwaves. I remember as a kid, a funny story, as a kid, I used to always love, when my mom turned on the microwave, I would love to put my head close and watch the food spin because I was always so curious as to how does the food get hot. Yeah, as a kid. But my mom would always pull me away and go like, hey, that is bad for you. Do not do that. Heard that before? Yeah. Why? I don't know as a kid, but now I know. Yeah, because I'm an adult. I understand these things. So again, a lot of these problems have been going on for a very long time. So over here, guys, what you're seeing here is NASA. NASA, the space station NASA, yeah, the space research center in the United States. NASA created a picture of how EMF radiation would look like if it were visible. And take a look, just your television alone is able to vomit huge amounts of EMF radiation into your environment that can affect your health, your peace on a long-term basis, right? So, I mean, let's be real, guys. If you guys can see these waves, I don't think you would dare step into your house ever, right? Now, more pressing information that I want to share with you. This is very important information here. World Health Organization, WHO for short. Guys, back in 2011, this is 14 years ago, they have already classified radio frequency electromagnetic fields as possibly carcinogenic to humans. Now, if you have no idea what carcinogenic means, it means cancer causing. Yeah. And they say there is an increased risk for glioma, which is a type of brain cancer. All right. Glioma stands for glioblastoma for short. And guys, brain cancer. Now, take note, guys. This is very important. I want you guys, if you have a phone, if you have something nearby you, a device that you can go on Google and search, I want you to search the top leading causes of cancer under 18 years old in 2025. Just give it a quick Google. Top leading cancer under 18 years old in 2025. You would see that number 1 ranks leukemia, number 2, brain cancer. I'm not kidding you. Go ahead and Google this. Basically, what this statistic is showing us is that people under 18 who are obviously using their phones and their devices for long periods of time are facing brain cancer problems. And again, leukemia. What's leukemia about? Leukemia is actually because the immune system in the body is just haywire. It's gone. It's kaput. Yeah, and that's why that happens. And I'm going to show you leukemia is based on blood, right? It's something related to blood. I'm going to show you something later on in this slide that also shows you how emGuarde might be able to protect your blood from the harms of EMF radiation. Yeah. So WHO, again, this is 2011. Now, recent news in 2023, yeah, 2023, 2 years ago, BBC reported that France, a whole country, halted the sale of iPhone 12s. A country, yeah, halted the whole country, said no more iPhone 12s. Because why? iPhone 12s were recorded to be emitting too much EMF radiation. It was over the limit. So what did Apple do? Apple released a clause, and this clause you can find in your phones. Yeah, this clause states that if you want to reduce your RF exposure from using Apple's products, please use Apple's products from a hands-free option, such as the built-in speakerphone, headphones, or other similar accessories. So what can we deduce from this information? Number 1, government authorities acknowledges the problem. Number two, the manufacturers of the products also acknowledges the problem. So if government authorities acknowledge the problem, the manufacturers acknowledges the problem. My question to every single one in the Zoom call, do you acknowledge the problem? Because if you don't, I'm sorry, you're being completely ignorant right now. The problem is so real, it is so in our faces, we need to do something about it. Imagine, guys, today, and this statistics will shock you, yeah? How, quickly in the chat for me, type a rough estimate. How many people are there in the world? What is the current population of the current globe right now? Of Earth? What is the current population? Type in the chat for me. What is the current population of Earth? Who knows the answer? Don't give me the exact number, just give me an estimate, yeah? Nobody? Well, let me tell you guys. Currently on planet Earth, there is over 8 billion people. Yeah? Our Earth has crossed 8 billion population. You guys want to know how many electronic products exist on planet Earth? Take a guess. Who can take a guess? How many electronic products exist on planet Earth? Sorry, I rephrase my question. How many telephones, handphones, smartphones, tablets exist on planet Earth? Just handphones, yeah? Handphones and your tablets and everything and laptops. I haven't even included the lights and everything because that'd be too much. Raymond says 10 times more. Maybe if you include all the light bulbs and everything. Guys, there is basically one human being to 4 telecommunications electronics product. Basically, to sum it up, there are almost 33, 32 billion phones on planet Earth. And I haven't even counted other things. Just telephones, guys. So what is this growing problem? The growing problem is in the future, 10, 20 years from now, Raymond might be right. It might be 10 times more. There could be 10 times more phones, electronic telecommunication products than humans on planet Earth. I mean, very simple, guys. Just take a look around you right now on your computer table, in your living room. How many electronic products are already present? For me, 1, 2, my computer's right there, my phone is right there, my AirPods are right there, my light bulb is right there, you know, my extension cord is right behind me, my chargers is right there. Guys, I have more than at least 8 electronic devices in my surroundings within arm's reach already. Yeah, so that is the problem, guys. It is growing, and in the future, Raymond be right, 10 times more, you know? So if you think, as over here, I'm going to show you a very quick video. If you think as adults we are at risk, yes, we are. But if you have children at home, guys, you need to pay attention to this video. If you have children at home, they are at even higher risk than us adults. Let's see what Dr. Satvinder has to say. There was no audio, is it? Let me... Why was there no audio? Okay, my bad. Let's take that from the start again.
the children's brain, like the hypothalamus, it tends to absorb 1.5 to 2 times more electromagnetic fields than an adult. But if you look at the child's bone marrow, it absorbs an amazing 10 times more electromagnetic radiation than an adult. The brain is much more absorbent, the skull is thinner, and because the relative size is smaller, if I give you the same dosage, your smaller tissue is going to absorb more than the bigger tissue. The first thing you have to do is keep the appliance that's emitting the radiation further apart from you, like handphones, off all power points when they're not in use. Number 3, you could use electromagnetic field harmonizers, which will balance out the radiation side effects from the appliance.
So what did Dr. Savinda say? If you have children at home, they are more susceptible to absorbing these RF energies into their bodies simply because their bodies are yet to fully develop. They have less muscle tissue, their bone structure is not fully developed, and guys, it is a wake-up call. If you have children who are below 18 years old in your house right now, below 12 years old, seriously consider investing in an emGuarde immediately. Yeah. So emGuarde is basically an amazing device that we can just plug and play, add it into our homes, something very small, very light. Yeah. And as soon as you plug this device in, what emGuarde does, it basically sends out something called a harmonics frequency to effectively suppress targeted electromagnetic noise radiation between 3 megahertz to 1000 megahertz. And the coverage range is about 4-meter radius from where the emGuarde stands. That is about 8 meters in diameter from where the emGuarde is. All right. So if let's say you have a relatively medium-sized home, one emGuarde, you position it well, will be able to cover your living room, your bedroom, or even your workroom. Yeah, but if you have a slightly larger house, you might want to consider getting more than one emGuarde to make sure that all the important areas are covered. All right, and graphically, that's how it looks. Imagine it's like one big bubble, right? Just expands out. All the EMF radiation that's trying to come into this area gets suppressed all straight away. Yeah. So I'm going to share with you information now about the emGuarde. Because the emGuarde harmonizes between 3 to 1000 megahertz. Why within this range? Why within 3 to 1000? You see, the FCC, which stands for the Federal Communications Commission in the United States, they say that the human body, our bodies, absorbs RF energy at some frequencies more effectively than others. And the most restrictive limit occurs within the frequency range of 30 to 300 megahertz. Because certain body organs are actually operating within that frequency range. Take a look. Your brain is about 72 to 90. The human body is about 62 to 78. 70, heart is about 67 to 70, and the list goes on and on, right? So again, these are information that comes from the FCC, not from me, from the FCC. Now, I want to ask you guys a question. When you guys are using your laptop for work, using your phones for work, or just social media, whatever, have you guys ever felt that after using your devices for a long time, you start to feel nauseous? You start to feel tired? Maybe sometimes you get a headache? And it's somewhat always related to the brain. Why? Because your brain is the most sensitive organ in your body. Am I right? Your brain is the most sensitive organ in your body. So the thing is, if you use your computers for a long time, you feel tired, you feel fatigued, guess what? The EMF radiation that's being emitted from your devices are actually interacting with your brain. So I'm going to share with you a very quick testimony here, I have a very good friend. And this friend, he's an accountant, right? And he basically works in an accounting firm, an audit firm. And audits. Auditors, they spend a lot of hours in front of computers, right? They have to do their whatever audits have to do, So for the longest of time, my good friend has always complained to me that he always gets headaches during work. The moment he goes home, he can't sleep. And if he has to continue work at home, the headache continues. And he's always on painkillers, he's always on aspirin and whatnot have you. So what I did was, I wanted to help him out. What I did is I sacrificed my emGuarde for a week. I told him, hey, this is my emGuarde, it's my new technology. Take it, bring it to work with you, bring it home from work, sleep next to it. Within 3 days, 2 to 3 days, he called me and he go like, hey, I need an emGuarde. Get me one for myself. And I told him, whoa, what? Why suddenly? You know, tell me the difference. Tell me your testimony. And he said, within the first 2 days at work, he did not get the headache anymore. When he went home to rest, he slept like an absolute baby, even though that week was the most busiest time for him in the month. And he bought an emGuarde just like that. Because he noticed his energy levels were different, he slept better every night, and he was able to not have a headache while working. So that is the power of emGuarde. One of the main benefits of having the emGuarde in your house, guys, it literally improves the quality of your sleep. Now, if you want better sleep, type 5 in the chat for me. Who wants better sleep? Type 5 in the chat for me. Jenny says it's true. It is true. Because for me as well, when I have my emGuarde around me, I do sleep better. Right? And imagine, guys, if you are able to share this amazing technology with your loved ones, you're able to help them get better sleep, wouldn't that make you feel top of the world? Isn't that ultimate show of love to your loved ones, your family, your friends, if you're able to help them solve something that is, a lot of people are facing today, sleep problems. Okay? So over here, I'm going to show you a very quick demo. All right, we are using a detector called a SDR-RTL. All right, it's called a software-defined radio. Simon is going to show you exactly, Simon's on the right here. He's going to show you exactly how much electromagnetic radiation interference there is in our modern world. Take a look.
This is called the SDR software, and it's gonna actually detect the electromagnetic interference in this area. So what David is gonna do now, he's going to actually turn on the software. You can download this software on your Android phone. You just have to pay a couple dollars, you get the software. So I want you guys to see. Just zoom in on the phone, Ben. You can just take a look at this. I don't know if you guys can hear it. So the software is connected to a dongle that connects to an antenna, and the antenna is receiving the interference around this room. It's unbelievable. Take a look at the chart. It is crazy, absolutely crazy. We have not seen this anywhere else. Okay, so now what we want to find out is, if we have the emGuarde, what can it do to us and what can it do for us? So it's not connected. Now I'm going to put next to the SDR software. I'm going to turn it on. In 3, 2, 1. Look at the wave spectrum. It's gone down. I'm going to unplug the emGuarde.
Talk about this suppression.
All right. Take a look at the suppression, guys. Here, take a look at the suppression. Boom. With the emGuarde turned on. If you guys are watching this, I want you guys to bring your emGuarde everywhere you go, especially in cities like this, and make sure you always keep yourself protected. See you guys soon.
Guys, that was a very simple presentation, am I right? I mean, think about it. All you need to do is just get a detector, right? You don't even need to have a lot of information about the emGuarde and all these facts and everything. Just show that presentation. It is so compelling. Can you imagine all those interference, those frequency noises that exist in our surroundings are actually interacting with our brain. Think about it. You know, if you could hear a noise constantly for minutes or even an hour, wouldn't you get a headache? 100%, right? The only difference is these noises that exist, we don't hear them. So we can't do anything about it. But they are there. So we need detectors like this, the SDR, to help you turn this inaudible noises into something that we can experience. And that's exactly what we did in this presentation. Liz Ong asks, where can you get the detector? Now, you're in Singapore, so you're in luck. All right. If you go to Shopee or Lazada or one of the main Asian online platforms, all you have to do is type in, there are two detectors. One is SDR, RTL antenna. This one is the one that will work if you have an Android phone. All right. But if you have an iPhone, I recommend getting this. It's called a 𝐏𝐫𝐨 SDR detector. All right. You can, I think they are quite readily available on Shopee or Lazada. You can basically buy it from there and you can get it shipped to you straight away. All right. So these are detectors that we use. And Liz, if you're wondering how you can set up, you know, let's buy a 𝐏𝐫𝐨. Obviously, there's settings and you have to do to make sure that it works. If you go to the Telegram group, you'll be able to find a guide that will guide you exactly how to set up step by step the 𝐏𝐫𝐨 or the detectors for you to use it in real life. All right. All right. So over, guys, I'm going to get into something a lot more impactful, an information that might scare you here, guys. All right. This is Dr. 𝐏𝐫𝐨 Havas. She's a Canadian researcher and professor, and she spent a lot of time researching about how electromagnetic radiation, pollution, whatever you want to call it, how does it affect our body, in specific, our red blood cells. Yeah. So if you look at the bottom graph here, the bottom scan, you look at a healthy red blood cell in a clean EMR environment, it looks something like this, where your red blood cells are fast moving, they're separated, and you can see the circular shape of the red blood cell. Yeah, you can see the nucleus, you can see the plasma around the nucleus and everything. All right. Now, if you expose these red blood cells or your body to EMF radiation, it can be as simple as just using your phone on social media, right? Or even just picking up a phone call, whatever. What happens is your red blood cells, they end up stacking on each other like a coin, and they form some sort of snake shape, right? Now, Dr. 𝐏𝐫𝐨 Havas calls this the Rulux formation. All right, I'm going to type in the chat for you. Rulux formation. All right, Rulux formation. Now, she says if you have Rulux formation in your body, it leads to poor circulation, low oxygen transport, reduced waste removal, headaches, fatigue, and the list goes on and on. Okay, so the Rulux formation is something very serious. I mean, who here would like their red blood cells to be plumped up like that? No way, right? Red blood cells are very important. It helps us transport oxygen throughout the body. But having these electromagnetic devices around us being polluted by the EMF radiation, hey, it's causing the Rulux formation. So over here, guys, we have a video. Take a look at it. It's by Dr. Roland. We actually replicated a blood test. Yeah, so take a look. The impact is absolutely amazing. When I saw this, guys, I was sold. I was completely sold on the emGuarde. Take a look.
So what we can do is, you get on your phone for maybe close to about half an hour, holding it, and then we'll check again and see how does the capillary blood look like.
It looked like my first blood test result was clean, with no signs of blood clotting or blood clumps. But would just 30 minutes of cell phone usage really do any harm at all to my body? I hope not. Let's find out.
Okay, let's have a look. So you can see all the cells now being stacked. See, all of them are, you cannot see those loose cells. You can see most of the cells now all stacked.
Clumped up together, right?
Exactly. Just look at that. The big message is always to try to reduce our exposure. It's almost impossible not to use, but try to be a bit more cautious in the usage.
The thing is, I know you say it's better to reduce. It's impossible for somebody like me, and I'm sure there's lots of people out there that also need to be holding their phones. So, is there anything I can do?
This is the device that can actually help harmonize your electromagnetic frequency wave. And you want to see how it works?
Sure.
Come.
With the Environment Harmoniser turned on beside me, Dr. Roland and I proceeded to do a third blood test to see just how well this technology supposedly suppresses EMR. Okay, so this looks completely different to the last test, doesn't it?
Yep. Clearly looks different, lesser rule of formation.
So I don't think I have to explain much, guys. All right. You know, on the left side, Rulox, poor blood circulation. Who wants that? Nobody wants that. On the right, you know, you could see that the emGuarde is able to reverse the Rulox formation, ensuring while you are using your electronic devices, your blood is flowing freely, fast. You know, I've always wondered, before emGuarde, when I use my computers for long hours, I realize that I tend to gasp for air. Do you guys realize that before? When you're using your laptop for long periods of time, you're using your phones for long periods of time, suddenly your body just goes like, you have to take a deep breath, as though like your body doesn't have enough oxygen. You know? So again, a lot of these things, guys, we need to be aware of. It's happening to us on a daily basis. And the thing is, we have a solution now. That solution is simply just having an emGuarde in your home, in your workplace. Just plug it in. You'll be safe. You'll be protected. No more Rulox formation. Better sleep. You know, hey, this is the technology that we're introducing to the market. Yeah. You know, I've personally, me and my team in Malaysia, we have personally replicated the same test over and over again, multiple times. This is a 60-year-old male, you know, and you can see no emGuarde turned on, 20 minutes of just using his phone, watching YouTube or whatever. Rulox formation. You see the snake pattern, you see the red blood cells all stacked like coins. And then we turn on the emGuarde, ask him to continue watching his YouTube. And guess what? You can see the circular shape of the red blood cell. I've done this test myself. You know, a lot of my team members in Malaysia have done this test themselves, and it works. So I'm going to give you an idea here. Who wants an idea to make a sale? Type 3 in the chat for me. Who wants an idea right now to make a sale? Perfect. Now, think very carefully in your circle of friends or whatever, family, in your circle of community, right? Do you have any doctor friends, doctor science friends, related friends? Yeah? Do they have a microscope? I want you to reach out to them and tell them that you want to run an experiment and you need their help with the microscope and their skills. When I mean skills means what? You see, when you take a blood test, it's quite complicated. Yeah, you just don't go and simply go snap your finger for no reason. There is a process to it and there is a procedure as to taking a proper blood test. So let's say you have a doctor friend, you have a nurse friend, you have a friend in the medical field, right? Go and tell them that you need their help, and you need to run this experiment. Go to them, bring the emGuarde along, do the test in front of them, and there you go. You think your doctor friend, after seeing the results, you think he's not gonna like want an emGuarde? That is exactly what happened in that video. That Dr. Roland fella, he is actually a friend of my downline. my team member, he went to his friend, Dr. Roland, brought the emGuarde to him and told Dr. Roland, I need to get this test done. And because of Dr. Roland's experiment, he saw what happened in front of him with his own microscope. He said, I need an emGuarde. So there you go. A very simple idea for you to make a sale. Because I guarantee you guys, if you do this blood test in front of anybody, it is so compelling, your belief system will shoot up the roof. And there is no way anybody to argue with you. Impossible. If they argue with you and they say it's not true and everything, then they just, I mean, I don't want to say the word, but it starts with S, okay? Yeah. All right, so it's an idea. Go ahead and do it. Go and find your doctor friends. Go and find your friends who are in the medical field. Go and get the test done. Ask for their help. Yeah. So coming back to the slides, guys, where can you use this emGuarde? Where can you place it to protect yourself? Guys, you can put it anywhere. Your home office, your living room, your work office. You can bring it along to the restaurants that you go and eat at. All you need is just a good quality power bank. Just plug it in and you're basically a walking emGuarde. Yeah. If some of you were to travel long distances every single weekend or whatever, put it into your car. Plug it into your USB port in your car, drive with the emGuarde. I've had many customers of mine who travel 3, 4, 5 hours back to their hometowns every weekend. And they said ever since they gotten the emGuarde, their quality of drive has improved significantly. They don't feel as tired. They feel quite energetic during the drives. And when they reach their destination, they don't feel like they're about to fall asleep. Yeah. Change your environment, change your life. We need to protect ourselves because, hey, our environment is completely polluted with EMF radiation. And the simple solution to that is just have an emGuarde in your surrounding. Now, I'm gonna help you understand why emGuarde is so fantastic. When you try to offer somebody, let's say, a health-related thing, yeah, let's think about what health-related thing is. There are supplements, there are, let's say, Kangen water, yeah, there is, what else? Creams and whatnot have you, yeah? Supplements and whatnot have you. Now, the big problem with a lot of health products is that people, they need to change their lifestyles a bit. Am I right? When you ask somebody to take supplements, they have to do it on a daily basis. They have to remind themselves every morning or whatever that they have to take this supplement. And sometimes it might even involve them not taking certain things to ensure that they take your supplements. All right. But if you realize on the emGuarde, you're not asking them to change anything about their lifestyles. They can continue to work on their laptops. They can continue to work on their phones. They can continue to spend hours and hours every single day on their electronic devices. The only thing is that emGuarde is plugged in next to them. Is that so hard? No. That's why emGuarde is such an amazing product, because you're not asking your prospects, you're not asking your customers to change anything. Just have an emGuarde next to them in their environment. That's all. Yeah. So emGuarde is coming in right now in the market. It's hitting every single country by storm. All right. It's been launched for about roughly 2.5 years now. And I think we have just crossed over 25,000 emGuardes sold worldwide. Now, some of you might be thinking, hey, that's a big number. Hey, that's a small number. In my opinion, that's a very small number. But that only shows that the market is still so new on the emGuarde. There is still a huge opportunity available for you to start introducing the emGuardes to your community, to your loved ones, to your family. Make sure they are protected. The retail price of an emGuarde comes in at $1,480. All right. The warranty from factory comes 1 year from the date of purchase, and the minimum lifespan, when I say minimum, all right, the lifespan of emGuarde is 5 years. So why do I say minimum? Well, you see, emGuarde is still an electronic product. Electronic products have lifespans, right? The chips and everything inside there. So when I say minimum lifespan of 5 years, after 5 years, your emGuarde's coverage, let's say it's 4-meter radius, right, will start to slowly decrease. 3.9, 3.8. It will slowly start to deteriorate. How long it takes to completely be useless, I don't know. But at least 5 years. So let's break down the cost for the next 5 years. Yeah, you buy one emGuarde, $1,480. You divide that by 5 years, you are spending less than $300 a year to protect you and your family from the harms of EMF radiation. You break them down into months, you're spending less than $25 for the next 5 years every single month to protect yourselves. You want to break it down to days? Guys, you're spending less than $1 US dollar to protect you and your family from the harms of EMF radiation. And I can almost guarantee you, every single one of us, when we walk out our house, we're already spending way much more than $1. Yeah? You go to a restaurant, you order a drink, it's already a couple of dollars. But now, $1 for you and your family to be protected from EMF radiation. So I personally feel that emGuarde is not expensive. It is cheap. The only thing is right now, whether you see the value or if you can convey the value of why people need emGuardes in their lives. All right. So that is the purpose of showing the presentation that I just showed. You know, if people go through this process, when they learn about the problem, they learn about the solution to the problem, and they understand that this solution is so simple, guys, that's where the value is. People understand the value of emGuarde. People want to invest in emGuarde. All right. Raymond asks, is a power bank allowed? Now, that's the good question, right? People have said that no power banks. People have been using the power banks. From what I heard, the power bank must be a good quality power bank. It cannot just be something simple. It must be a good quality one. And the power, the mAh behind the power bank needs to be at least 10,000 and above. But you see, a lot of power banks in the market have a lot of fancy technology. You know, when you charge your phone with a power bank, when your phone hits 100%, what happens? The power bank cuts off. Yeah, those power banks do exist. So if you want to use with a power bank, make sure your power bank is of good quality, a reputable brand. It has enough power, enough juice, and number 3, it doesn't have a cut-off system. Then you can use a power bank. All right. Okay, if you guys want to find out where you can get these presentation slides, guys, basically they're on Facebook and they're on the Telegram page, right? You know how I know is because that's where I got my slides from. So I went to Telegram, I downloaded the slides, and I basically customized it to my own liking. But the main information is pretty much all in that presentation slide. Yeah, so go to the Telegram group, you'll be able to find it there. Okay, now let's very quickly jump into the business side of things, guys. emGuarde is amazing, but it's not going to sell itself. emGuarde needs us. eMagic needs us to push this product into the market. But that offers us an opportunity to, number 1, If we recommend enough people to 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 to buy emGuardes, your own emGuarde can be free of cost. You actually recoup the cost of your own investment in emGuarde. And number two, I'm going to show you that you can actually turn this into a business opportunity where you can earn very good money. All right. So 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 now has a partnership program that you can tap into, and you can start promoting the emGuardes, and you can start making some good money. All right. So I'm going to share with you what this opportunity is. But before I can share with you this opportunity, I need to let you know who 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 is. Again, 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺, 51 years old, manufactures the Kangen motor machines. Guys, they have, I believe now they have 44 offices in 27 countries. I think my global map here is outdated. Yeah, so they have more offices now. And guys, take a look. 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 has a very good, reputable global footprint. So the company that you're joining is not some random company that popped up 1-2 years ago. No, you're joining a 51-year-old company, Japanese company, and they've been in the market for a very long time. This gives us confidence. Yeah. And if you're wondering where the headquarters of 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 is, it is based in Okinawa. Some of you may have had the pleasure of going to Okinawa, seeing the head office, seeing the island. Guys, it's absolutely beautiful. Okay. So 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 business, very simple, guys. There is no monthly qualifications, right? You don't have to meet some sort of KPI every single month for you to maintain your distribution ID. There's no inventory of stocks. You don't have to front load huge amounts of emGuarde. You don't have to buy, keep it at home, and then figure out how to sell. You don't do that. The risk is not on you for that. You just have to refer a customer to the company. You let them handle the payment and shipment of the product and everything. And what you do, you receive commission. You are basically a referrer. Simple. Okay? No annual renewal fee. You don't have to pay some hidden cost, some annual fee, nothing like that. A cumulative group sale. Now, this means that 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 keeps track of all the sales that you have done in the past. And what happens is, based off your past sales amount, your future sales will only give you more and higher commission. So your business can scale higher and bigger. Okay? Global business. You can do this anywhere around the world. You can sell this product. Let's say you're in Malaysia. You can sell this to American citizen. You can sell this to a European citizen. No problem. 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 will also handle all the currency exchange and everything, and they will pay you in your local currency, which you can just easily go and declare tax. All right? So no headaches for you. You don't have to figure out, oh, how about all these withholding tax, all these tax. Nah, you don't have to worry about that. 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 will sort it out for you. It is a patented compensation plan, meaning that this business plan has not changed in the last 30 over years. Now, what does this mean? Number one, it shows transparency. If I were to sell 10 emGuardes today, I can calculate to the dollar how much I'm going to make. Transparency. Number two, it shows that the company is solid. Meaning that the company will never put itself in a financial position where they're at risk of overpaying their distributors. And that is something very important, because that is usually the case where companies, they pop up 1-2 years, they overpromise huge commissions to the distributors, and then suddenly the company is like, oh man, I can't pay the distributors. They file for bankruptcy. Happens all the time. Literally, I just heard about a week ago, a company in Malaysia closed down because they overpaid the distributors. They opened like 3 years ago. They closed down because they couldn't pay. Overpay. 𝐸𝐿𝐺𝐼𝐺 will never overpay, so you don't have to worry about anything. Yeah. Legacy income inherited. This means that you build your business to a certain rank in the company where you start to receive passive residual income every single month. Right? That's very important. We want to have a legacy in the company. An untapped market basically means that in this moment right now, emGuarde is so new, your neighbors, your family members, they don't know about it. But this offers you an opportunity to go and tell them about it and be the one to introduce emGuarde to them. All right? Don't let somebody else take your market. You be the one. You go and take your market for yourself. You go and earn what is rightfully yours. Types of commission in eMagic, guys, is a lot. All right, there are a lot of different bonuses, a lot of different title bonuses, incentives, and whatnot have you. But today, in this presentation, I'm going to talk about 8A or 8 points commission. So how it works is very simple. For you to become a distributor for eMagic, for you to be able to promote emGuarde, you just have to invest in an emGuarde for your home. So you buy one emGuarde for your own protection, for your family's protection, you become a distributor for eMagic for life. Simple, yeah? Easy. No hidden cost, no hidden fee, no extra fee, nothing. Now you can start promoting emGuarde, Kangen, Enerspa, 𝐏𝐿, whatever. Anything under eMagic's product range, you can start promoting these products to your friends, your family. And when you do sell these products to your friends and family, you get direct sales, which will lead you to direct sales commission. The thing is, the people that buy these products from you, they too can choose to become distributors. They too can refer their own friends and family. So when they start promoting it to their circle of friends, for them, it's their direct sale. But for you, it is an indirect sale. And the company pays you commissions on these indirect sales as well. And again, the company takes your direct and your indirect, and they calculate everything as your total group sale. All right. So the 8A or 8-point commission, how does it work? Let me show you. emGuarde, the retail price of an emGuarde is $1,480 US. Okay. eMagic has already allocated $520 US for every emGuarde. So this $520 US is the budget for the distributors for their commission. But this 520 is divided into 8 equal parts. Means if the whole pizza, let's say this is one pizza, right? If the whole pizza is worth 520, every single slice has an equal value of $65 US. 520 divided by 8 A's, every A is 65. Very simple system to understand. All right? Let me see. Okay. So how much commission you make per direct sale you sell depends on your rank in the company at that moment. All right? So let's say you just started eMagic business. You haven't sold anything yet. You don't have a rank. All right? But the moment you make your first direct sale, you become a 1A distributor and you make $65 US. And on your first and second direct sale, you will be making 65. You're 1A distributor. The next rank up happens on your third direct sale. So you make your first direct sale, your second direct sale, your 1A. You make your third direct sale, you get promoted to a 2A distributor, and now you earn $130 US on every emGuarde that you sell. Okay? 2A to 3A, you must first achieve 10 cumulative emGuarde group sales. So group sales is what? Group sales is direct plus indirect. Yeah? You don't have to sell all 10 yourself. I mean, you could. But let's say you sell 5 direct, and each of these direct sales, they recommend each one. So you have 5 indirect. You have 10 group sales. After achieving these 10, your next direct sale, your 11th sale, you become 3A and you earn 195 US dollars. 4A, 20 cumulative. Your next direct sale, you become 4A, 260 US dollars. 5A, 50 cumulative emGuarde group sales. Your next direct sale is 5A, 325. And on top, we have 6A. After 200 cumulative emGuarde group sales, your next direct sales is a 6A sale. And now you're earning 390 US dollars on every emGuarde you sell. Yeah, so these are the ranks, guys, from 1A to 6A, and that is the corresponding commissions based off your rank if you sell an emGuarde. And by the way, guys, just for transparency here, I'm talking about if you only sell emGuarde. Yeah, you can sell Kangen machines, you can sell whatever too. But if you sell Kangen machines, your commission is definitely higher because the value of Kangen machines are higher. Okay, but I'm just talking about emGuarde for now. Okay, so 1A, 2A to 6A, these are the commissions. Raymond, yes, direct sales means that you are the direct sponsor of those sales to your customers. Yeah. Now, how about indirect sales? Right? So company pays direct sales, but they also pay indirect sales. So I'm going to run you through a very simple exercise where it's going to show you how much commission you make on your indirect sales. Okay, so do follow along with me. Do bear with me. It will all be very clear very soon. So this is you. Everything in green is your commission in US dollars. All right. So right now you start the eNagic business. You sell your first emGuarde to Tom. You become a 1A distributor. You make 65. Okay. Then you sell your second direct sale to Alex. You are still a 1A distributor. You make 65. But when you make your third direct sale to Rose, you get promoted to a 2A distributor, and now your commission doubles to 130 US dollars. Yeah, so that's how it works. Your first and second direct sale, 1A, 1A. Your third direct sale, you become a 2A, you earn 130. But now Tom sells a unit to Grace. Yeah, it's an indirect sale to you. Tom will make his own commission, right? Don't worry about your team members. This system applies to everybody. Let's focus on us for now. Yeah. So Tom sells an emGuarde to Grace. Because Grace falls under Tom, which is your 1A overriding lane, you will receive 65. So as any indirect sales that come underneath Tom or Alex, 1A overriding lane, yeah? But that also applies to your 2A overriding lane. Let's say Rose and Kim, all right? Let's say Kim is a good friend. She wants to earn some extra money. She joins you in the business and she sells 3 emGuardes to Ali, Abu, and Ani. But because Kim falls underneath your 2A overriding lane, every indirect sale underneath of Kim, you're going to receive 2A commission. You guys see that? So it's kind of, think of it as a franchise. Your 1A lanes are your Apple stalls. Yeah, every single Apple you sell, you're going to make Apple money. And then suddenly you become 2A and you open a orange stall. Every single orange you sell, you're going to make oranges. And suddenly, if you calculate, guys, you have 4 direct here, 6 indirect. You have 10 group sales. And when you open another direct line, suddenly you have opened up a 3A overriding lane. You sell an emGuarde to May. You make 195 US dollars on that sale to May. Now, what happens when May sells an emGuarde? You're going to make 100 $295 from her sale, which is your 3A overriding lane. Yeah, so that's how it works. Suddenly you open a banana store. You're going to get bananas, right? So this is just to reinforce the idea that all of these sales underneath of Kim, all right, you're going to be making oranges, which is $130. But guys, there is a limit. There's a limit to this commission, and the limit is in the name of the commission itself. 8A or 8-point commission. The company only has $520 as the entire budget, which is divided into 8 equal parts. Okay, and these 8 equal parts, let me show you how it is paid. Let's take a look at John. At the bottom here, John sells his first emGuarde through Dawn, right? It is John's first sale. It's like you making your first sale to Tom. John is going to make 1 point. He's going to take 1 piece of pizza. Yeah. The next person to get paid is Bob. Why? Because Bob is the one that introduced John into the business. Bob is the one that sold John an emGuarde. But if you realize, John is Bob's 3rd direct sale. Like you selling to Rose, Tom, Alex, and Rose is your 3rd direct sale. So Bob is making 2A commission, 2 points. You see that? Ani, same thing, 2 points. Kim, 2 points. Company only has 8 points, nothing more, nothing less. And we've already paid out 1, 3, 5, 7. 8 minus 7 leaves you with 1. From the sale of John to Dawn, it is $65. The same thing with John to Dave. It is still John's 1A sale, so there is still 1 point for you. But now, John sells his 3rd emGuarde to Dan. John gets promoted to 2A. He makes 2 points. Bob, 2 points. Ani, 2 points. Kim, 2 points. Suddenly, you find yourself in a situation where you don't receive any 8 points commission because all 8 points have already been paid out. This situation is called a non-8A sale, and a non-8A sale does not count as a group sale. So you will not receive the group sale count, and you will also not receive any 8 points commission. All right. So guys, do not worry because this is only Kim, Ani, Bob, John to them. But if you think on the brighter side, if Bob were to continue selling emGuardes, are you going to make commission? Yes. If Bryce continues selling, you're going to continue making. If Joe sells, you're going to continue making. If Ali sells, you're going to continue making. This is just one line from Kim to Dan. In between, so many more opportunities. Okay, so, but this is a system in play to ensure that the company is financially secure, financially steady. So we have the confidence as distributors to invest our time and our effort into building this partnership with Imagine. Because we don't want to join a company, put our heart, sweat, and tears into it, and then suddenly 1-2 years, they go missing. Correct? I'm sure some of you have been through this horror story before. I'm sure some of you have heard of these horror stories before. It is not a good feeling. So that is the reason why this limit is in play to protect the company, which is in turn protecting us. All right? But guys, don't worry. You can continue to build your group sale count. And you can continue to introduce more people into the business. Let's say after 20 group sale, you qualify for 4A, you sell an emGuarde to Tony, you bring him into the business, he buys an emGuarde, you make $260. Let's say you teach Tony how to do the business, how to sell the emGuarde, how to promote the emGuarde and market the emGuarde. And he sells 10 a month. Whoa. That is 10 times 260 US dollars. 5A, after 50 group sale, you find Simon, and every single emGuarde Simon sells, you're making 325. And lastly, we have Sam at 6A, after 200 group sales. Every time Sam sells emGuarde, you're making 390 US dollars. So this is the business. This is the 8-point system. This is how, number one, you're able to recoup the cost of your own emGuarde. And number two, you can build a business from this opportunity that will give you financial freedom, financial abundance. But if you're thinking that 6A is the end, you're wrong. Guys, let me show you the career path of an electric distributor. All right, 6A is actually just the beginning. It's like you graduating kindergarten. All right, 6A, you get 6A, you get a 3,000 US dollar one-time bonus check. Company will give you a good job check. You've done it, you became 6A. But don't stop, because the next step after 6A is 6A2. And for you to achieve your 6A2 rank, very simple. Help 2 people in your team on 2 separate lines. They don't have to be direct. They can be indirect as well. Yeah, they can be 10 levels away from you or whatever. Yeah. You help them become 6As. You become a 6A2. You receive 6,000 US dollar one-time bonus. You continue to work with your 2 leaders. You help them become 6A2. So they have to go and find their own 2 leaders. They become 6A2. You become -2. You get 12,000 US dollar one-time bonus. But now, if highlighted in gold, is the rank that you start to receive passive residual income. It is called the golden rank, 6A2-3. When your 2 leaders, they become -2s. You become a -3, you're going to receive 25,000 US dollar one-time bonus, and the rest of your life, every single month, you're going to receive 5,000 US dollar monthly, plus other incentive calculations, minus performance requirements. Guys, receiving 5,000 US dollar monthly. Just think about that. Let's let it process for you. You become -3, and every month, eMagic pays you a minimum of 5,000 US dollars. I don't know about you, but for me, I will be so financially secure. I'll be so financially stable, knowing that that 5,000 is coming into my bank account because I've put in the hard work, I've sweat and labored to become a -3. And you continue, you're not going to stop there. You're going to continue because you want your 2 leaders to also receive this blessing. So when you help these 2 leaders become -3, they are going to earn their 5,000 every single month. But what happens to you? You become -4, and suddenly your 5,000 becomes 10,000 US dollars a month. It's a lot of money. It's good money, guys. -5, 15,000, -6, 20,000. And the moment the highest rank in the world is a -7, I believe there are 4 people with that current rank. I believe there's about 11 or 12, maybe 10 to 15 people who are -6. You know, -3s, a lot. There are a lot of -3s around the world. So what does this show you? It can happen for you. And this is where I'm targeting. This is where my goal is. I want to become a -3, get that 5,000 US dollars every single month, continue to grow my team worldwide. You know, and one day I will be able to just kick back, relax, and I know for sure eMagic is going to take care of me and my family for the years to come. I've asked a lot of leaders. I've asked the company's managers. I've asked even the CEO. how long do you think 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 is going to be around? And they tell me minimum the next 50 to 100 years. So what does this mean? Even if 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 takes care of you for the next 50 years, is that enough? Enough. If 𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐺 takes care of you for the next 25 years, is that enough? Enough. More than enough. You know, and right now we are offered an amazing opportunity because why? We have a technology, emGuarde, that is so new in the market. People don't know about it. People know the problem, but they don't know the solution. And from this alone, you can build an empire. Believe it or not, maybe if you're living in your condo, you're living in your community, your compound, don't be surprised if you're the only person that owns an emGuarde. Because you could be. You could be the only person in your district, in your taman, in your whatever, that owns an emGuarde. But this gives you an opportunity, right? It gives you an opportunity to go to your neighbors and start talking to them about EMF radiation and the solutions. Yeah, big opportunity, huge market available, but it depends on whether you want to go and get it for yourself. Okay, so a lot of you are asking, where do you get the slides? Where do you get this and that? Guys, it's literally all in the Telegram group and the Facebook group. All right, that is where I got my slides as well. The slides that I currently use is very generic. All right, when I use my own personal slides, it is more personalized to me because I just make it me. Right, I add some photos, I add some achievements in my company just to show people that, hey, this is an actual thing. Okay, so go and download the presentation files. You will find a lot of resources on the Telegram group. You will find a tremendous amount of value on the Facebook page, which is a page that me and my team are building in Malaysia. All right. There are a lot of guides. You can literally go to the Facebook page, click guides, and there is guide 1 all the way to guide 11 or 12. And every single guide tackles a different problem. So go through those guides, learn about literally all the problems you might face in promoting emGuarde or even sharing by emGuarde, how to set up your detectors, how to set up whatever, right? They're all on that page. So stay ahead in the emGuarde community. Join these 2 platforms so you know what is happening latest. Okay? So that's all I have for you guys today. Let me see if there are any